Marcus Aurelius explains, think you need to be a whirlwind of words to seduce her? Spill your entire life story like an audiobook on the first date and fill every second with your voice? Think again. What if I told you your most potent weapon of seduction isn't your gift of gab, no matter how sharp, but your ability to be silent? It's like comparing a loud firecracker to the hypnotic fire of a hearth. One is fleeting, the other truly attracts and warms. Yes, the key to making her unable to get you out of her head, to making her interest skyrocket into pure fascination, lies in silence. But not just any silence. I'm talking about strategic, intentional silence, Stoic silence. Forget what you've been told about conquering with an endless monologue. Today, you're going to discover how the art of silence, inspired by none other than Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful and wise dudes in history, can literally make her go crazy for you. I'll bet this sounds familiar. You're with her. The conversation seems to be flowing, or so you'd like to believe. But something's off, right? Maybe you talk too much, like a chef who throws too many spices into a dish and ruins the original flavor. You try hard to impress her. You try to cover up those silences that make you nervous as if they were holes in a wall, seeking her approval with every sentence you utter. And in the end, what do you achieve? If you're lucky, a polite but distant smile. Worst case, she sees you as just another guy in the crowd, or worse, someone new, lacking that confidence that's so attractive. It's frustrating, I know. You see other guys who, without saying much, it's frustrating, I know. You see other guys who, without saying much, seem to be women magnets. It's not about cheap tricks or manipulative BS. Today we're going to uncover that secret. And no, it's not about cheap tricks or manipulative BS. We're talking about a power that comes from within, the life philosophy applied to attraction. Inspired by the ideas of Marcus Aurelius, this approach will teach you to use silence not as an emptiness. But Aurelius, this approach will teach you to use silence not as an emptiness, but as an active magnetic presence. Imagine changing your seduction game not with more words, but with the power of calm mystery over silent control projected by well-used silence. Imagine that instead of chasing her, she's the one who starts trying to figure you out. Like a cat fascinated by a mysteriously moving ball of yarn, wanting to know more. Feeling attraction she doesn't understand, but that hooks her. That's the promise of this video. For you to master this Stoic art and watch her interest transform into a fascination that makes her crazy to find out who you are. Hold on tight, because what you're about to learn today can totally flip your way of interacting and, above all, attracting. To really get the power of silence in seduction, we need to take a stroll through ancient Rome and meet a character who knew a lot about power, influence, and, believe it or not, what we now call attractive presence. I'm talking, of course, about Marcus Aurelius. Emperor, Stoic philosopher, a man who not only led an empire but also left us a manual for directing our own minds, his famous meditations. And you might be wondering, what the heck does a Roman emperor have to do with that girl you're crushing on liking you more? Well, more than you imagine. Marcus Aurelius didn't write a dating guide, obviously, but he did teach us key principles about self-control, perception, and inner power. And it's right here that Stoic silence starts to become a really cool tool for attraction. In his Meditations Asterisk, Marcus Aurelius heavily emphasized the importance of not wasting words. Think of your words like money. Don't squander them on trivialities. Invest them wisely. One of his main ideas was, limit your words to what is necessary. And he also told us something like, before speaking, stop and think if what you're going to say is useful and good. This isn't about becoming an antisocial monk who never opens his mouth. Not at all. It means your words carry more weight when you choose them carefully. Like an archer aiming precisely before releasing the arrow. Instead of shooting wildly. Think about it. In a world where everyone is fighting to speak, to fill the air with noise, who do you think truly stands out? The one who speaks less but says more? Like a speaker says more, the one who speaks out yes. The one that doesn't. How do you think that you think you to Ulysses What the signs but?
Solitary diamond that shone. Like a solitary diamond that I hit. Silence seen this way. Silent all day. It's at the time. But she's also in the ones that it's a corners. That's all it was. Yes. That's all John just touch my legs and this returns. And I had to go. It's got roads. I don't I soup got none. It's sophisticated. I'll such. If I heard that, yes. At all, never had a day that's hurt till they not. It's like the my
When you bring this to seduction, you stop obsessing over whether every sentence you say is perfect or if she's blown away by you. Instead, you focus on your own calm, your tranquility, and that calm, that sort of indifference to the immediate outcome, is incredibly attractive. Why? Because the man who is comfortable in silence, who doesn't rush to speak to fill a gap, projects several very powerful things. Asterisk, asterisk, self-confidence. Asterisk, asterisk. He doesn't need to talk to feel secure. He seems comfortable with himself, and his presence is enough. Asterisk, asterisk, mystery, asterisk, asterisk. If you don't reveal everything at once, like a book that slowly unveils its plot, if you leave space for her to think, you generate curiosity. She'll start wondering what you think, what you feel. Asterisk, asterisk, control. Asterisk, asterisk, control. Asterisk, asterisk. You show you're not a guy who reacts impulsively, that you think before you speak, that you master your emotions. That's a sign of maturity and stability. Asterisk, asterisk, observational power. By being silent, you have the opportunity to truly listen to her, to observe her, to understand her better. And when you finally speak, your words hit the mark. And when you finally speak, your words hit the mark. They're more potent, because they come from a place of understanding, not nervousness. Marcus Aurelius, as an emperor, knew that true power wasn't in shouting orders, but in the calm with which decisions were made, and thinking before acting. His silence could be a leadership tool, conveying security and depth. Similarly, your strategic silence can be an attraction tool, because it sets you apart from the typical guy who tries to win her over with a flood of words, often empty ones. It's not about being cold or distant, but about being cold or distant, but about being selective, about understanding that your words are a valuable resource and that, sometimes, the greatest impact is achieved without saying anything, letting the tension build, like a fisherman giving line before reeling in, letting her lean in towards you, literally and figuratively, wanting to hear what you have to say. That's the deal with Stoic silence. Fewer words, more presence, more power. A power that doesn't seek to impress superficially, but to attract from real inner strength. We've seen that Stoic silence has a powerful philosophical basis. But what goes on in a woman's head when you stand before her with that calm and controlled speech? Why does this calculated silence, instead of extinguishing the fire, often fan it into a bonfire of curiosity and attraction? The answer lies in psychology, and it's awesome. Our brain is wired to look for patterns, to fill in information gaps. It's like an eager private detective itching to solve a case. When someone is an open book from minute one, when they leave nothing to the imagination, the other person's brain processes the data and, often, moves on. But when you encounter someone more reserved, who doesn't spill everything at once, who uses silence strategically, her brain kicks into overdrive, turning you into the most intriguing case of her career. Think about your favorite movie or series with that enigmatic character. When a man doesn't instantly respond to every question with a monologue, or when he leaves intriguing pauses in the conversation, a woman's curiosity ignites. Her mind starts racing. What's he thinking? Why did he smile like that and say nothing? What's he holding back? These informational gaps aren't gaps. These informational gaps aren't bad. They're like an unfinished puzzle she feels an overwhelming urge to complete, investing mentally and emotionally in you. In economics, what's scarce is usually more valuable. Gold is worth more than sand, right? If you talk nonstop, if your words are a ceaseless river, each word loses value, becoming like sand. But if you're selective, if your comments are thoughtful and, at times, separated by meaningful silence, your words gain a special weight, as if they were gold nuggets. Seduction isn't a monologue. It's like a dance. If you do all the work by talking, she becomes a mere spectator sitting in the stands. You're like a serene lighthouse in a stormy sea of chatter. Silence, especially at certain key moments in an interaction, can be a brutal amplifier of emotional and sexual tension. They're like the energy-charged quiet right before lightning strikes, or that pause in your favorite song just before the chorus explodes. Just before the chorus explodes. It's the silence of someone who is present, observing, thinking, and choosing their moments. So, when you practice Stoic silence, you're not just applying an ancient philosophy. You're using powerful psychological principles to your advantage. Now that we've grasped the asterisk, why asterisk behind the philosophical and psychological power of silence, it's time to look at the asterisk, how asterisk. Let's break it down into 5 basic principles. Master these 5 pillars. Let's break it down into 5 basic principles. Now you'll see how your silent presence starts to speak louder than any flood of words. Imagine a lion. It doesn't need to roar constantly to prove its power. Its calm presence alone is imposing. Maintain eye contact, perhaps with a slight enigmatic smile. Enjoy that moment. In a noisy and often superficial world, someone with this silent tranquility is incredibly attractive and mature. Like finding an oasis of peace in a chaotic city. You're like the captain of your own ship. You can control the rudder and sails, but not the wind or the waves. It's like a chef's secret ingredient, added at the precise instant to transform a dish. Strategic pauses create anticipation, make your words more valued, and can dramatically increase emotional connection or sexual tension. It's like offering her a safe and welcoming space where she can express herself freely. Focus on her. Maintain eye contact without intimidating. Observe her body language, her expressions. You are like a mountain, firm and majestic, regardless of whether the day is sunny or stormy. That you are stormy. That you are a planet with your own fascinating orbit, not a moon that only revolves around her. By integrating these 5 principles, silence stops being an uncomfortable void and transforms into your greatest asset. Understanding the theory is great, but seeing how this applies in real situations is what will truly make a difference for you. Let's dive into some typical dating and interaction scenarios and see how Stoic silence can turn the tables, making her feel increasingly attracted and hooked by you. Scenario 1. The first date. Creating mystery and depth first dates are often loaded with nerves and the pressure to make a good first impression. Many guys fall into the trap of talking nonstop, sharing too much too soon. This is where Stoic silence shines. The typical mistake. Turning the date into a job interview or a monologue about your achievements. The Stoic silence strategy. Active and paused listening. When she talks, truly listen. Don't be thinking about your next line. Maintain eye contact, nod. And when she finishes, take a short pause before responding or asking something else. Open-ended questions followed by expectant silence. Ask questions that invite her to think and share what's something you're really passionate about right now, or what's the craziest adventure you've ever had. After asking, remain silent, looking at her with genuine interest. Let the space invite her to open up. Don't rush her. Respond calmly, not desperately. When she asks about you, don't spill your entire biography at once, as if you were showing all your cards in the first hand of poker. A slightly mysterious smile and a phrase like, "That's a story for another time," perhaps, can generate tremendous curiosity. Body language during silence. Your silence must go hand in hand with open and confident body language. Relaxed shoulders, an upright but not stiff posture. The effect. Instead of overwhelming her with information, you'll intrigue her. She'll feel there are layers to discover in you, like an exciting movie trailer. Scenario 2. The couple's argument or an early disagreement. Showing maturity and self-controlled disagreements are inevitable in any relationship. How you handle them says a lot about you. The typical mistake: getting defensive, interrupting, escalating the argument, saying hurtful things in the heat of the moment. The Stoic silence strategy. The conscious pause. When tension starts to rise, or if she says something that angers you, Take an intentional pause before responding, as if hitting the pause button on a heated argument to prevent it from spiraling out of control. Take a deep breath. This gives you a moment to process and avoid an impulsive reaction. As Marcus Aurelius said, master your reactions. Listen to understand, not to rebut. During her turn to speak, even if you disagree, practice attentive silence. Let her say everything she needs to without interruptions. Try to get her point of view, even if you don't share it. Speak measuredly and calmly. When you respond, do so in a calm tone of voice, measuring your words. I understand you feel that way. From my perspective, it's much more effective than you're wrong. Sometimes, a simple "I need a moment to think about this" followed by a brief silence can be incredibly helpful to cool things down. Silence that invites mutual reflection. Sometimes, after you've both spoken, a period of silence can allow emotions to settle and both of you to think about what was said, instead of continuing to add fuel to the fire. The effect. She'll see you as a mature man, capable of handling conflict without losing your cool. Your calm can, in fact, calm her down too, just as a serene presence can soothe a tense situation. Instead of seeing you as an enemy, she'll feel she can have difficult conversations with you constructively. This builds respect and a sense of emotional security, which are the foundation of lasting attraction. Self-control in tense moments is a very attractive quality. Scenario 3. Winning her back or strategic distancing. Rekindling interest. The typical mistake. Begging, texting nonstop, demanding attention, showing desperation.
This only confirms her decision or pushes her further away. The Stoic silence strategy. Conscious withdrawal, not punishment. If there's been a breakup or distancing, withdraw your attention calmly and with dignity, like the tide receding to later reveal the beauty of the shore, your own life and value. Don't announce "I'm going to ignore you." Simply stop initiating contact. This silence isn't aggressive. It's a sign that you respect her space and yours, and that you're focusing on yourself. Focus on your own growth. Let it show, if you can. Use this silent communication time to work on yourself. Hit the gym, pick up hobbies, go out with friends, advance your projects. If she happens to see you're here through mutual friends or social media, use wisely that you're doing well and progressing. It's much more effective than any plea. When and if contact occurs, maintain stoic calm. If she finally contacts you, don't jump for joy immediately or reply within seconds. Take your time. When you do respond, be friendly but not overly enthusiastic. Maintain that aura of calm and internal control you've cultivated. Let her wonder if she's lost you. The effect. Silence creates a void. If you were a constant presence before, your absence will be noticed, like when your favorite song suddenly stops playing and you notice the silence. You give her the chance to miss you, to remember the good times, and to wonder what you're doing. Seeing that you're fine without her, that you have a full life, can make her reconsider your value. The idea isn't to manipulate her into coming back, but to give her the space so that, if there's real interest, it can resurface in a more balanced way, where she also does her part. Your silence tells her you're a high-value man who doesn't chase, but attracts, like a magnet, not a hunter. Scenario 4. Communication via text or social media. The power of the digital pause. The typical mistake. Replying to all her messages instantly. Sending multiple messages if she doesn't reply. Always being online and available for her. The Stoic silence strategy. Don't always respond immediately. You don't have to play games. But you also don't have to be glued to your phone as if it were an extension of your hand. Your phone is a tool, not a leash. It's okay to let some time pass before replying, especially if you're busy. This communicates that you have a life beyond your phone and her, like your own garden that requires your attention. Concise and purposeful messages. As Marcus Aurelius would say, limit your words to what is necessary. Don't write a novel if a shorter, to-the-point message is sufficient. Sometimes, a well-chosen emoji or a short phrase can be more effective than a long paragraph. Let her initiate sometimes. Don't always be the one starting the conversation or suggesting plans. Your silence, not texting her for a day or two, can give her the space to take the initiative, showing her interest. Occasionally end the conversation. You don't have to be the last one to ride or drag out the conversation until it dies. Sometimes, being the first to say "I have to go," talk later politely, will leave her wanting more. The effect. You project that you're a busy man with goals and that your time is valuable. You create anticipation and avoid wearing her out. She'll value your messages more when they arrive and will feel more eager to keep your interest when she interacts with you. In each of these scenarios, Stoic silence isn't passivity, it's thoughtful action. It's the art of using the absence of words to communicate strength, emotional intelligence, and a magnetic attraction that will make her think about you long after the conversation is ended. In each of these scenarios, Stoic silence isn't passivity, it's thoughtful action. It's the art of using the absence of words to communicate strength. We've talked a lot about the power of Stoic silence, but like any potent tool, if you misuse it, it can backfire. There's a very fine line between silence that attracts and silence that just makes you seem weird, uninterested, or even rude. Error 1. Using silence as obvious punishment or manipulation. Stoic silence comes from self-control and inner calm like a shield of peace. Punitive silence comes from anger, resentment, like a weapon of emotional warfare. What it looks like? The infamous silent treatment. Deliberately ignoring her after a disagreement to make her pay. Not speaking for days without explanation. Why it's a mistake? Although it might get a reaction short term, in the long run, it destroys trust and connection. It feels manipulative and like passive-aggressive bullying. The Stoic alternative. If you need space after a conflict, say so calmly. I need some time to process this. Let's talk later. This is self-care and respect. Error 2. Silence due to insecurity or fear, and it shows. Attractive silence comes from strength and confidence. If you're quiet because you're shy, afraid, or intimidated, that silence won't project power, but anxiety. What it looks like. Avoiding eye contact while silent, closed body language, slumped shoulders, crossed arms, appearing nervous or lost. Quiet's a mistake. She'll notice your insecurity. Attractive silence is relaxed and chosen. Anxious silence is tense and weird. Instead of mystery, you'll project social awkwardness. Error 3. Confusing strategic silence with being passive or boring. Stoic silence is active. You're listening, observing, thinking. It doesn't mean you never take initiative, never have opinions, or become furniture in the room.